I love fashion, but something's changed. We've seen a shocking rise in massive replica hauls and the consumption of fake sneakers. Maybe it's time you start wearing fakes, cause either way, they affect your style. Let's explore how. To have any understanding of the current situation with fake fashion, first, it's crucial that you understand the concept that I'll be referring to as the replica pipeline. At the start of the pipeline, we have sneakers and clothing becoming increasingly popular. The most influential factor in fashion becoming more popular was the COVID quarantine. More people had time off, which led TikTok to blow up. People started posting and watching fashion videos, and at the same time, people were getting money from stimulus checks. Next, we have TikTok's algorithm that promotes a lot of the same videos to people. So when Nike Dunk and Jordan 1 videos were performing well, there's a great chance the kid sitting next to you in class saw them as well, which allowed trends to spread faster than ever. Unfortunately, this created a huge problem where now you had OG sneakerheads who still wear 17s and flight posits competing to buy the same sneakers as brand new casual buyers who wanted dunks because they were all over their For You page. The competition also increased with the rise of sneaker reselling during quarantine, as sneaker reselling became a go-to side hustle. As a result, resale prices started to skyrocket to peak levels, and shoes that should have never flipped for profit were doing crazy numbers. Those who took an L on the sneakers app were forced to make a decision. Simply forget about the shoes, pay crazy resale prices and support resellers, or try buying replicas and putting in that first taobao haul. If you wear fakes, you're only faking yourself. This idea has been pushed super hard by those opposed to buying replicas, basically saying that by buying replicas, you're trying to be something or someone that you actually aren't. I definitely disagree with this and think the rise in buying fake products or replicas is more so a response to the current streetwear or larger fashion culture, even though this might not have always been the case. During the hypebeast phase, fashion and outfits were used to flex money and the status that comes along with owning limited pieces. The blazendary, Blake Linder, world's biggest hypebeast era, supported the importance of money within fashion. I would assume that a lot of those who bought replicas during this period of time did it to flex and appear as something they weren't. However, now I see something a bit different, where the response of buying replicas more so seems to be people liking the products, but not willing to pay the sometimes crazy price tags. A lot of people have come to an agreement that the increased resale prices, and sometimes even just the retail prices, don't justify the product's quality. This has become especially true with the increased quality of replicas, where now you can readily find almost one-to-one copies. Right up there with the quality concerns is the massive grudge against resellers. Sneaker and clothing resellers are considered by some to be the scum of the earth. Resellers add a lot of hype and attention to releases, which isn't always a bad thing. However, they've become easy to blame as the sole reason many can't attain certain sneakers and clothes, which has built up a lot of resentment for my fellow young entrepreneurs making $12 after fees on StockX. Buying fake products has become marketed as a way to take away from resellers' pockets or almost get back at them in a sense. The huge problem that I hope everyone watching can agree on is selling replicas as authentic is scummy. Now there seems to be more protection against this with eBay's authenticity guarantee, StockX legit checkers, and Grail's authentication process, but clearly people still sell fakes as real and get away with it. I'd credit this a lot of the time to how fakes are marketed. Oftentimes you hear fakes are unauthorized authentics or made in the same factory, which isn't true, but with replicas becoming much closer to the authentics, it's a lot easier to believe some of these statements. The popularity of replicas has unfortunately taken away the value of authentic products. Specifically, what I mean about this is that when you see some heat out in public, that sense of doubt whether they're authentic kicks in a lot quicker now. If you have a legit top-tier hype sneaker, more people will assume it's a replica rather than being authentic. Do you believe replicas damage streetwear, fashion, and sneaker subcultures, or does it not matter? I'm honestly a bit torn in my answer. On one hand, I see the argument that when money is a barrier to entry, there will be more people who are genuinely interested and invested in the culture. When you learn how to buy for retail or to save up to pay resale prices, there's a sense of invested time and interest that can be lost with the ease of purchasing replicas. Although there's a lot of people buying replicas as a response to quality concerns or resentment for resellers, there's still a large demographic that buys replicas to obtain the image that comes along with owning the authentic products. Looking at replica hauls on Reddit, a lot of the pieces are highly priced designer or limited sneakers that I find it difficult to believe the same buyers would want to own these if they didn't come with a status of being a luxury item. Then again, in defense of replicas, to many people, sneakers and clothing are just that. There doesn't need to be a meaning or a story behind what they wear. Replicas are simply an easy way to dress exactly how you want without having to worry about the money it takes to afford these looks. Some could even argue that replicas make the sneaker and fashion subcultures more accessible and inclusive by bringing an increased attention to these groups. The absolute most annoying part of replicas are the many videos attempting to persuade people from buying replicas. So many of the arguments are weak, specifically the arguments on workers' rights and quality. If you're concerned about quality, you probably shouldn't be buying from Nike in the first place. The high school kid trying to dress better and buy some cheap dunks 100% does not care about who or how they were made as long as they look good. Trying to say authentic quality is better is also bogus. Firsthand, I received many pairs straight from Nike with glue stains, poor shape, and sloppy craftsmanship. If you were actually questioning whether you should buy your first replica, or even if you have a shelf overflowing with fakes, here's some actual arguments against it. First, if you're nervous or have any fear of getting called out for wearing fakes, just don't buy them. If you have that inner confidence that it doesn't matter, then go ahead. In my view, a big part of the appeal to being a sneakerhead or into fashion is the fun of the hunt. The process is saving up for that next big purchase, and at the same time searching out more information to learn about your pickup is super fun. The delayed sense of gratification in owning that next Jordan or whatever it is oftentimes makes them a lot more special to wear. Lastly, because it can take weeks for replicas to arrive, a lot of people decide to order these massive hauls if they're going to take on that long wait. The promotion of buying these huge fashion hauls clearly isn't helping Mother Nature or sustainable fashion, so if you care about that, it's something to think about. Whether you watching right now agree or disagree, you all share great comments down below, but I'd love to see some viewers express it in videos of their own. Clearly, many of you have what it takes to discuss fashion, so go after it and keep me updated. I'll see you next time. Peace.